Wow, I just got completely lost. This just removed all of my focus. But it looks kind of cool. I feel like I'm one of those characters in one of those scary movies where the serial murderer is chasing you in the forest and then you hide behind this tree and then you're like, where did they go? Where did they go? Am I safe? Am I safe? Squeaky chair. Shh. The murderer is after us. So this is not about murderers or scary movies or why you shouldn't bring a wheelie chair with you into a forest when you know a serial killer could be lurking out there. This is about something far more serious. And in this case, this is about ghost lighting. Now, before I get into what ghost lighting is, the recent trend, I need to say this. You may notice there's a pattern on Journey Through the Awesome in this show where sometimes I will give relationship advice, and not all the times does that relationship advice sound advice. This is really distracting, but it is really fun. I feel like I'm one of those cats who has one of those toys where they scratch at it and they just go, but I'm like, I'm really distracted right now, but it's cool. I keep my focus. This will be part of the episode. So, yeah, I have given bad relationship advice before, but you know what? I am somebody who's never even been in a long-term relationship. And I think it is okay for me to assume that I can still give relationship advice because you know what? I admit that my advice isn't always good. Now, when are you going to find a relationship advice expert who doesn't say, well, my advice is right 100% of the time, okay? Why don't you find a relationship advice expert who says, I am wrong 94.5% of the time? Then you know when they are right, you'll be able to pick that out and recognize it. And then you'll be like, oh, this was that 1 in a billion chance that they were right. Now I can actually take them seriously. They are a great relationship counselor because of all the times they was wrong. So there you go. That is why my advice is not always correct, but can always be taken as good advice. Anyways, we need to talk about something. We need to talk about something that the world is doing wrong today. And according to USA Today, this article that I found on the internet, that is ghost lighting, which is this combination, according to this article, between ghosting and gaslighting. Let me explain to you all how this works, because this is a very complicated process. I am so sick of you right now. You are messing up everything. You need to go right there. There you go, sir. There you go. Are you a man? You don't have a gender. You're an inanimate object. Anyways, this is not a Disney film. So, and if it were, never mind. So, what is ghostlighting? So, it's a mix between ghosting and gaslighting, but how does it work? Let me explain to you. It starts off when you meet somebody on a dating app. And now, dating is unique nowadays because in the age of social media, it has changed a lot. How often do you go out in public to meet somebody anymore? You go out to a restaurant and you see people sitting out there and you just walk up to them and you're like, hey, what is a generic pickup line? I see you dropped your number over there. Can I have it? That was terrible. I like your hair. No, don't walk away. Well, why are you walking away? That wasn't creepy. That usually happens. Not from my experience. I've never used that, and neither am I suggesting you should. But social media has basically changed dating to a point where pretty much, if I had to guess, 90% of dating in areas where there are a lot of phone users is done by phone, is done by computer, laptop, what have you, in the social media world, in technology. It has gotten to a point where there are now new strategies to regulate what can and cannot be done in dating. And so this is why this is kind of a problem. Well, it's kind of why, but the main problem here is what ghostlighting is when you start a relationship on social media and you meet somebody, let's say it is on Tinder, and you meet them and you swipe right, left, I don't remember. But I never used Tinder. No, I never used Tinder. No, that's not a confession. I may or may not have used it at one point to meet friends, so I may be vaguely familiar. But when you swipe whatever ways on Tinder and you meet somebody and then you start a conversation, in this situation of ghostlighting, somebody would ghost the person. Person A ghosts person B. And then they ghost them for, say, 2 weeks. After those 2 weeks, person A gets back with person B, and they finally message them again, and they say, yo, how's it going? Just out of the blue. And then person B naturally says, well, what happened? Why did you ghost me all that time? And then person A would say something like, I did not ghost you. You're taking that way too seriously. You know what happened was something came up and you did not consider that when you accused me of ghosting you. So, take that. I win this argument. Case closed. Goodbye. And they probably ghost you again for all of eternity now because they were called out on their behavior and now they go run away back into cyberspace maybe. I'm not speaking from experience. So, the problem with this is that because social media has such a huge impact in dating, this is now something that is becoming more and more of a trend the more and more dating is reliant on social media. Or not so much reliant, but is being impacted by and affected by social media. And so according to this article, it is now one of the biggest growing problems in online dating, which is now pretty much a lot of dating. You get the points, right? So when I react to this article, I really think that, yeah, this is definitely a coward move. You know, for lack of a better term. If you ghost somebody, first of all, ghosting on its own is bad. And gaslighting on its own is bad. So mixing the two together, well, you just have chemical X right there in your hands. That is just a recipe for a gigantic nuclear disaster. And if you're somebody who does that, well, maybe you probably just should not be in any type of relationship setting, context, or environment to begin with. If you're going to pull those manipulative tactics right there and try to do some old weird stuff to get with the person of your dreams, who may not even be the person for you. What was even the point of doing this? Person A, guy out there who used this tactic, or you could be a woman, I don't know. Person out there who used this tactic, did you really think that this was going to work? What was your plan? What was your plan after ghosting and then coming back? What, did you think they was going to forgive you? I'm very passionate about this. I've never had this happen to me, but if you are somebody who has had this happen to you, my deepest condolences, my deepest apologies to you. And on behalf of the Earth, the entire planet Earth, hopefully, maybe a majority of us can side with you in this situation. This sucks. And this is terrible. And this is what I would say is one of the problems with online dating is just the fact that this could happen. Not to dissuade anybody from doing online dating. You definitely have the power to do it. I'm just saying I feel like we should always become aware as people that in the online dating world, there is just a chance for manipulation that isn't present in in-person dating. I mean, on paper, it's kind of obvious. When you're online, you don't have the opportunity to see somebody face to face in a lot of situations. And so with that level of ambiguity in all of these situations, there's always the chance for somebody to be lying, potentially be manipulative. And I'm not trying to also educate you to be paranoid or anything like that. I'm just saying be careful. The main message that everybody should always learn is to just be careful on social media, whether it's through dating or whether it's through any interaction. But this is not only just a PAS. This is not just a PSA on the dangers of online dating. No, I want to make this educational. I want to show us some ways that we can combat this. If you are somebody who finds yourself in a situation of being ghostlighted, Ghost Rider, Marvel Comics, the best superhero. If you are somebody who is ever finding yourself in a situation of being ghostlit, there are two main strategies that I can think of that you could do in this situation to get your revenge. Yeah, because that's the best way to handle this. Because, I mean, think about it though, right? You're online and somebody has just manipulated you. I mean, maybe you could clap back. Maybe you could get your revenge in a way that would make you seem petty, but also kind of satisfied. And this is horrible. This show is terrible. I don't even know why I do this. I don't know why I come here. This is terrible. I'm just going to shut off the camera. What did you think? No. I have the courage to admit that we are not always great people. Like, get out of my way. You have just been a nuisance. We're not always great people. But tool number one to get revenge on the person who just ghostlit you. Write a really long essay text that demonstrates how, quote unquote, crazy you are. So, by crazy, I don't mean certain things. By crazy, I mean that you are somebody who's like a Michael Myers, Ghostface, Jason Voorhees, and you're coming out there and you're going to do something crazy if they continue to ghostlight you. Now, you're not trying to convince them that you want to, keep staying in the relationship. No, I don't mean that. I mean, convince this person that they have done wrong on you and that you will do some Liam Neeson Taken type behavior to get your revenge and prove to them that they will not get away with this. It's kind of like a weird, morbid superhero who goes online and then makes people who ghostlight and do similar tactics feel bad about themselves in a weird, creepy way. So here's what you text them. Okay, so you send the long text and this is what you're supposed to say. Dear person, comma, thank you so much for giving me the excuse to make you uncomfortable, period. For your information, comma, I am a deranged monster who is also secretly a dragon, period. I come from a world where mushrooms grow on coffee beans inside of trees made out of dogs and cats because they are adorable, period. The sky is filled, not filed, with sandwiches from Subway, period, comma, and all of the media from social media to TV media is about everyone's favorite flavor of car oil, period. What would you like to go on a date? Question mark. I know a place where they steam babies and serve them on fruit platters. Period. Go back. Tropical flutes. Tropical fruit platters of the American restaurants so unique because probably should not say that. Don't say anything about that culture. We don't say anything about real world topics. When we go back to my place, comma, you can meet my pet lion, who will totally not rip your face off. 3 F's and eat it, comma, period, for breakfast. I had to specify for breakfast because BC, he is very against lunch and dinner, period. He likes breakfast because BC, he needs nutrition to start off his day, period. Anyway, what in the world? Anyway, that was a pretty drug out way of saying I don't like what you tried to do with my trust, and now I'm going to just troll you unless you block me, period. And now I'm going to just say crazy things to you until you block me, comma, period. With love, the LinkedIn hiring team. Okay, you got all that? The second thing you can do to make this person regret ever ghostlighting, not just you, but in general, is send them some pictures. Some pictures of the craziest faces you can come up with. Okay, and that will teach this person, look, I'm not even going to text you anymore. I'm going to show you with my face why you should not have messed with me. I am somebody who should be taken seriously. Do something with your face to make them scared, though. And here are some examples. Ghostlighting is terrible.